everyone.
Hi,
Hi.
Nanda.
Linus, Liliana. Okay.
Hello.
Hi.
The family is back together.
So apparently, what is being suggested is that this is the apparent flow of nothing, the automatic flow of everything, the imagined flow of stillness, the flow of life and death, the flow of the appearance and disappearance of everything, this boundless energy, this apparent nonsense. It doesn't make sense, but there's this flow that is infinitely flowing, but it's also stillness, and it's also nothing, and it's also everything, and there's no separation whatsoever. Before you say go with the flow, man, well, there's no one to flow. It's just flowing by itself. It doesn't have a source, it doesn't have an end, it doesn't have a beginning, it's boundless. So, this apparent flow of the beginning and ending of everything, the flow of beliefs, the flow of concepts, the flow of stories, is really nothing. So, what's being described is that this is just flowing by itself infinitely, and there's nothing to figure out. Because when you figure out, when there's a you that figures out, then it's not a flow anymore, isn't it? There's a location, there's a destination. This is not a destination, this is not a path. This is the ever flowing flowness of the flow that doesn't begin, that doesn't end. And it's just this wondrous, flowing stillness, like a dancing emptiness, like a moving solidity. Nothing is ever in place. Nothing is ever in permanence. Because permanence, any words actually, is just a flow. Any labels is just a flow. And it's a flow of nothing. And it cannot really be understood. It cannot really be digested. It cannot be comprehended because it's flowing infinitely. There's no knowing. There's no understanding the flow. And the flow is just another word. It's just another label of something that cannot really be labeled. So this is the, without a label, without any kind of identification, it's not personalization. So it's not my flow. It's not your flow. It's just a flow. It's the ever-flowing, oh wow, unconditional love that cannot really be known. So without a source, without any meaning, without any purpose, this is a seeming flowing of everything. So for example, there's an apparent thought that flows and then it's not there anymore. There's apparent emotions that happens, appears and disappears. But since there's this apparent flow of time, in timelessness, there seems to be a linear happening of something appearing and disappearing, but really nothing is happening. Nothing is going on. It's just a flow. And this flow that seems to be in everything, thoughts without thoughts, meaning without meaning, purpose without purpose, path without path, is just this immense overflowing of nothingness. See, when nothing becomes an understanding, there's an idea of what nothing is. When emptiness has become a meaningful something, it's not empty anymore. When nothingness becomes unobserved or something to be aware of, then it's just not the flow anymore. So since this doesn't have a pause, this doesn't stop, it's infinitely going and going and going nowhere, appearing in everything. And this wondrous, wondrous flow that seems to be, it's like, when someone says that, oh, it's always been this flow. It's always been this way. Meaning that there's no more stuckness. There's no more held on to stuff. It's flowing. What's usually gets stuck is the idea that I am here, that I have a belief, that I have an understanding, that I have a location. What's being expressed here is this immeasurable flow that cannot be contained. The moment that it gets contained, it becomes something that it's not. What's being expressed is not is, or what it's not isn't as well. It doesn't even appear in words. So some say that the flow is like silence. Nothing exists in silence. Nothing exists in the flow. But there's this illusion that you have a control of the flow, that you can manipulate the flow. Some people call it contractedness. Some people call it stuckness. But that's just an illusion. It's always flowing. See, the illusion, what's not really seen with the illusion is it's not permanent. It comes and goes. It ends and begins. Anything that you can think of has a beginning and an ending. Anything that you can think of is an illusion. So in the apparent flowingness of this emptiness, of this nothingness, nothing is ever stuck. Nothing is ever held. Nothing is ever understood. And this ever-flowing... Just a second, I'm just going to mute someone. I can hear someone's conversation. There we go. So in this, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, because no one knows what they're talking about. So there's seeming flowing of words coming out. There's a seeming flowing of listening happening. There's a seeming trying to capture something that's being said here. But since this is the infinite flow, it doesn't stop. It gets nowhere. It doesn't land. It does not become a conclusion. In this eternal flow of nothingness, what appears is this illusion that's also seemingly, trying to get rid of thoughts, trying to get rid of feelings or emotions. This flow is the all-embracing, unconditional acceptance of everything that is flowing. Whatever is flowing is an illusion because it never is there. It cannot really be stopped. It cannot really be captured. So when someone says that I have the flow, that I got it, that they attained it, then they lost the flow. When someone has arrived at somewhere saying that I am an expert at this, I know this already, I understand this already, then it has become an illusion. It has become a dream. So what's being expressed here is just this wowness of this ever-changing, never-ending, indescribable, unknowable flow of everything and nothing simultaneously appearing in this ever infinite flow of nothing. I think I'll stop there. If you have any questions, if you want to chat, please go ahead. If you just want to flow with me, that's cool.
Emerson.
Rojan.
Oh my God. It's crazy
Sorry, my
because
computer's...
Oh, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. There you
okay.
are.
Well, you know about the apparent stories here.
Yes.
And
it's just the flow.
yeah. And it's so funny because even when the neurosis happens again and I reach out to him and all this stuff, it's
You did.
Yeah, I did. I actually did.
I kind of knew it.
really badly. It went really bad. But it's I don't know. I just have you in the back of my head, but not you, but just this all I don't know. And then it's there was this temptation to feel guilty and shameful about it, but then I don't know, something is just there's a peace that's calm down, nothing's really happening, it's cool. And it's I don't know, I just feel so happy even though like the character is clearly really unhappy. Like the character is really unhappy and really psychotic at the moment, but it's like I feel happy. Like there's a happiness, and there's like, I don't know, there's a peace to it. It's not painful. Like it appears like pain, but it's not really painful.
It's flowing, right? That's right. There's this unbounded peace that flows in whatever happens. It could be the most difficult situations, like your parent
Yeah.
situation. That was kind of brutal,
Yeah.
apparently. But when there's this flow
Yeah.
of these emptiness, everything that arises is not really stuck, isn't it? Right? There's just seemingly
Yeah.
a never-ending appearance of whatever seems to appear, but it's really nothing, and there's nothing that
Mm-hmm.
you can do. It's just it's the loss of control.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
heavy. Like that I have never felt this like not in control of my life. It's just so funny because it's always been this way. Like, like it's always been this way, but I
It's
never
always been
realized
this way.
like how it's always been this way. Like, and it's so funny because now there's so much love for the character that wants to control the situation, and there's no resistance to that. Like I'm not gonna shut her up, you know, like I just let it
You
be.
can't
It's like
anyway.
no one's doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really can't, I have no power. But yeah, that's it.
It's beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm so happy
Thank
to see you
you,
smiling.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
You're cutting in and
You're the
out, but
Grim Reaper. Oh wait,
what did you
how'd it
say?
go? Sorry.
No worries.
I said you're the Grim Reaper.
Oh, there's no one here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Rojan. Hi, Erie. Hi, Erie. And hi, Kuka. Kane goes, "What does your birthday feel like?" Um, well, when everything is a celebration, it's just another apparent day since there's no one celebrating a birthday anymore. There's just this apparent wowness to everything. It's not the apparent difference is there's no more self-importance that it's my birthday, that someone has to do something. So it feels like celebrating will celebrate. Oh, happy birthday, Kane. We'll celebrate. Wow, you're so young. You could be my son. Yeah, that's another thing. There's no more stories about age or birthday. When I was in my, there was this apparent trying to, be something successful already at whatever age, and I'm like, I should have done this, but that story has seemingly dropped away.
Hi, Emerson.
Oh, hello. Hi.
I didn't put my hand up, but I am.
Oh, hi. Hello.
um,
Hello, my friend.
Hi.
Mon ami.
Yeah, mon ami.
Mon ami.
I just want to share. I've been, well, of course, this is a story. I've, you know, I was on vacation for 3 weeks. It was so wonderful.
Wow. Yeah, I saw the pictures.
Oh my God. And it's like, well, you know, the no effort. It's funny, I've been on vacation and it feels like I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
And this character doesn't, well, there's no like wanting, but it's like seeing the like both at the same time, you know.
Mm.
The me wants, well, the me doesn't want to make efforts no more, but at the same time it's like knowing it doesn't have to make effort.
Mm.
And I guess this is like well, that's what's going on, you know. It's like heavy.
Mm.
It's like heavy coming back.
Yeah. And
There's no
that's
coming. It doesn't
there's
make sense what
it
I'm
doesn't make
saying.
sense. It's just this, everything is allowed, right? So even the heaviness is allowed. It's just a
Yes.
flow.
Yes.
Nothing is permanent, and all of this appearance of heaviness, tiredness is just it's when there's no filter, it's full on, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not avoiding it.
Yeah.
It's not trying to get to somewhere or trying to be in a different state. It's just what is. And what
Yes.
is
And
appears as whatever.
yes,
Yeah.
sure. And it's God, the me, oh God, you know, it's like, it's funny because it sees the whole thing, you know, and also uh like it doesn't want no more to be in a certain role, you know,
Yes.
like I was.
Yeah.
It's like this character doesn't, it, like it's getting angry because it doesn't want to be nice no more.
Yes.
It's
The
like,
filter's off.
and this is so like so confusing because it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
seeing both things at the same time, and nothing makes sense.
Yeah. It's just what is, right? And this seemingly kind of like play of
course.
nothing. Whatever seems to appear is it. So anger appears, and when I used to be a spiritual practitioner, every time that anger or this my lineage, of my many lineages, when someone can like attack me, I used to say nothing. I have a funny story about that because someone can like sent me this long messenger about your picture that you posted on Facebook with my picture on it. So
Oh yeah.
this is really funny. So apparently this character thought that you have a picture of me because I'm your guru.
Oh,
You and Michelle has a picture of me on an iPad drinking beer. So I so I had to express basically, I'm like, actually no, that's the opposite. I said I wanted to have a drink with them, so they put me in a picture and I was drinking a Blanche de Chambly with them. And I said it's not about
and you know, Michelle had commentary, like not necessarily good commentary about that also.
yeah.
Because you know, the me is always interpreting whatever it
Yeah.
wants to interpret, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a funny story,
That's a funny
Emerson.
story. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what is. There's no one out there. There's no one even all that kind of stuff is just seen as nothing. It's just a flow of
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I have listened to I just want to share this thing. I listened to Grace,
Oh yeah.
you know, and I like the me is still wants, you know, like the you know, the film, the movie, what's it called? When Harry Met Sally.
Oh yes, yes.
And you know, this part of the film
I
saying,
want that.
"Oh, I want that."
Yes, yes. And that's always going to be a persistent illusion of trying to compare, but comparison is a thief of this, right?
Yeah.
It tries to comparison, but there's no one to compare with because there's
Yeah.
no one even here.
Yeah.
But
No
that's
one.
just actually a naturalness of this apparent flowing of things.
Mm.
If there is a seeing that, but I had a fun talk with Grace. It's
Mm.
really funny. We're coming to Montreal, so
Ah, tell me when.
yeah. October.
Yeah, October.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot what I wanted to say. Oh well, I'll come back if if it comes back. Oh
Alright.
yeah, I got it. Just just, this is story, of course, but just before I went on vacation, I just couldn't hear, like, even myself, or anyone else talking about things that they didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah.
And really, no one. This is so funny because no one knows what it's talking about.
Yeah, totally, totally. Knowing is an apparent obstacle to seeing that everything is just unknown.
Yes,
It's
it's
coming
like,
to a conclusion, yeah.
yeah, and it's like, well, there's no now, but in like, it's like, uh, um there's no I, but it's like I'm seeing both things at the same time.
Yeah,
The,
there's no both things actually. It's just
yeah.
yeah.
Well, yes, that's the way. Well, I need to talk.
Yes, of
But
course.
it's like always seeing both things at the same time. There's no both, but
Yeah.
this is so crazy, and
Yes,
it
is. Yeah.
it doesn't make sense at all. God. Oh, anyway, thank you so much, Emerson, for talking and doing those amazing videos and
Oh,
Zooms
thank
and
you.
all that.
I have no choice.
Yours. Yeah. No one's choosing anything. But you're so great. You're not there, but you're great.
Okay, thank you. You too. You're not there, but you're great too.
Okay, thank you, Emerson.
Thank you. I'll get to you, iPhone, but there's a couple of questions here. Hi, Oscar. There's a question here from Lee. Lately, I hear more and more people speaking about pranic living. They don't eat and drink, they live from energy only. What do you think about this? There's a funny story about that. Apparently, about 12 years ago, when I had that, apparent awakening and trying to maintain that, there was in midway or towards the end, I can't remember, that since I was maintaining this apparent enlightenment, this apparent seeing or the glimpse, basically, um, that I was doing meditation. And one thing that apparently happened was I thought that by not doing any harm, so I went from pescatarian to vegetarian to vegan, and to raw vegan. And then I was only eating fruits that fell off a tree and trying to basically live off the apparent energy. Um, and it's just another experience. It's already this. There's no techniques. There's no pranic apparent living. There's nothing wrong or right about that, but it's just another knowing. It's just another understanding. To each its own. You know what I'm saying? If that seems to apparently work for other people, then so be it. But in this apparent character, I thought I was euphoric, but because I've not eaten for like 7 days, and of course my body was collapsing. Um, so it could be in this apparent dream, any practices or any lifestyle, because pranic living is a lifestyle, is an illusion. It's just another notch on my enlightenment belt, which is not really. It's it's just an illusion. There's nothing needed. There's nothing that needs to be learned. So, my cautionary tale of me doing that after the apparent glimpse, I see some speakers do that. I'm not going to mention names, and I was like, oh no, because it usually the end of this story usually of the pranic living is a lot of suffering, apparently for the character. But yeah, that's just a story as well. iPhone, go ahead, please. I'm not sure who iPhone is, but oh, hi.
Hi. I was driving today and it dawned on me, like hit me like a ton of bricks, that you know how you always talk about you have an allergy toward
Spirituality.
yeah,
Sanskrit.
it dawned on me that allergy has to do with and I'm only saying it for myself, but I kind of thought of you, has to do with the I being talked to. It's like the illusionary I in, like you join and I'm making this up, but you join like a book club and they're doing a book on positive bias or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like, that entire book club and the discussion is going to be directed toward the illusionary I. And I just have no desire because I know that the I is an illusion. Like I don't
Yeah.
want to be talked to anymore. Like that's
Yeah.
been talked to enough.
For disappearing character was any instructions or me instructing is or even addressing, right, addressing, and there's nothing wrong or right about that, you know what I'm saying. It's just there's this apparent seeing, you know what I'm saying, that whatever is thought is trying to change things, and there's nothing wrong about that as well. But here, because I was the teacher, I was the dealer. So it seemed like, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like, oh, there's this kind of like there's just an apparent reaction of not and again, there's this openness here for anything and everything, but there's also in that openness as well, there's also preferences that appears of whatever it is, right? So when
Yeah.
someone mentions like Satchidananda to me or tat, all that kind of stuff, because any Sanskrit or karma or whatever, um, it's just this kind of like, okay, I've studied all of that and I have done that apparently in the story, and in that apparent instruction or doing stuff, it just led like a bad taste in my mouth because there was something that I was trying to maintain and trying to achieve. But hey, you know what I'm saying? If people are, even going back to that pranic kind of like living, if people are doing kind of like, breath work and everything, energy work, that's also what's happening. There's nothing wrong with it. If anything in the dream makes you feel better, so be it. Why not? You know what I'm saying? I was talking to
Right.
someone before and said that I still love meditation. I'm like, well, if you love it, then why, there's no choice in doing that anyway. But for this character, kind of like you, every time that the I is involved, that I am doing something, it's just this, it's almost like a cautionary tale of something to unfurl again. It's a stuckness that happens again because I'm doing something, I'm maintaining something, I am
Right.
getting somewhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to get somewhere. And it's so
Yes.
funny because before I was introduced to all this, I was, of course, in tons of groups, right? And I just got, and the reason why I even thought about this is I just got an email about a book group and they're doing this positivity bias book
Yeah.
in November. And I got the email and I was like, I had no interest whatsoever. And it made me like, it dawned on me that I'd much rather right now just play pickleball or play tennis or something than have anything talked or have my eye instructed to do something. And it's like so crazy to me because I don't know, that was like a huge change and and the apparent story of who I was trying to change.
Totally. And anything instructional for this apparent character, or when I see all of this, um, you know, um, invitations to do some stuff, and there's nothing wrong or right about that, but it's just another trap. I think
Yeah.
I covered that in the 5 day that the thing that I could not um, release is because every learning is a trap. Every
Yeah.
knowing is a trap. Every understanding is a trap. and
Yeah.
and it's just another closed loop of understanding, knowing, and everything, and then it just keeps on going and going and going.
Because for understanding and knowing, there has to be an I, and there is no I.
Exactly. You got it. The I is the trap.
Yeah, the I is the trap. And it dawned on me because when you did the 5-day, I was in Seattle, but I had called in to tell a story about, it doesn't matter what the story is. But anyway, and I thought about it today, actually, the week later, that to be offended or to get defensive, there has to be somebody here. And the only thing that's here is our beliefs, a belief that they should have done that, a belief.
Bingo. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, wait, that's so crazy. Like,
yeah, it's very simple, right? Because all of this apparently stems from the illusion of I, that I am here. So when that illusion is knocked off, when you see that the I, everything that it has, understanding, belief, knowing, anything at all, is an illusion. It's like it's a trap. It's like, but this is what I know, or this much I know is true. I used to love that sentence so much. This much I know is true, and then it kind of like, but none of it is true. Again, I'm a collector of quotes and stuff like that. So any quotes, you know what I'm saying, that lands somewhere, that comes into a conclusion, seemingly traps the flow, the boundless energy.
Single solid thing is a belief. Everything is a belief or a disbelief. But it's one of those, and that traps the flow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is this unknowable, this unknowingness, or this emptiness, the flow, whatever it is, when it's seen as a belief system, it obscures it.
Yeah.
It denies it. It hides it, but it appears in everything as well. So it will appear as the I, it will appear as the knowing, it will appear as the understanding, but it's not stuck anywhere.
No. Like we said numerous times, it's just like a dance. You get trapped in belief, and then you see it as a belief. You get trapped in a disbelief, and you see it as a disbelief. Like, it's just a dance.
It is. Rather than practices, get a puppy. You know what I'm saying? Having a puppy is just this wondrous, and there's nothing wrong, right, with practices again. But just seeing the puppy, like, it's just the joy and the waking up every 3 hours or 2 hours, or the puppy drinking. My brother gave him her milk, so diarrhea happened. So that's what the flow is, saying, and it's just this.
Yeah.
It's not about trying to understand something. The open secret, or the unknowingness is doesn't land anywhere. There's when it becomes a knowledge, it becomes a practice. Again, there's nothing wrong or right about any of these things, but that's the thing, right? Because there is this stuckness, and it just keeps on going and going and going. When there is no one, it's just really flowing infinitely. And it's really nothing, and it's really still as well. So there's this peacefulness that's boundless, this boundless energy that appears in everything. Even scooping your puppy's poop, that's that's everything as well. But it's just this. There's this seeming intoxication of knowing, right? Because it seems like attaining. So there's almost a detoxing of this apparent unknowing, because everything that is known just slides away.
Yeah.
And also there's even the judgment, so even when a judgment arises, there's nothing wrong or right about anything at all. It's just an appearance. So everything that appears disappears. Everything that's seen is unseen. Everything that's known is unknown. And it can't really be expressed in words, because I'm just doing labels again here. So what's being expressed is label free. Even saying label free is a label. You get what I'm saying?
100%. I get it.
Yes. Thank you.
And I don't get it. Okay.
No. It's just languaging
I know.
sometimes, it's like it's just you see the automaticness of it. It's the I know. Yeah, I got it.
I know.
It
I
doesn't
was
even mean anything. Most people will say, I got it, I get it. Yep, yep, yep. Nothing is actually being understood here.
right because there's the blank space.
Yeah, this is actually the equivalent of this is just basically this, when you have that silence, that white noise at night, this is like that.
Yeah.
There's this silence and there's this, it's just sound.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Emerson.
Thank you. Oh, there's a follow-up question to that one. Oh yeah. What do you think of other non-duality speakers going direction? I don't think at all. There's no other non-duality speakers. It's just a story. Again, whatever is, right? There's nothing wrong or right about that. Someone's trying to invite me to gossip here. It's just unconditional love appearing as that, whatever it is. If I move in with you and spend all my time with Emerson, doesn't that increase the likelihood that I will fall away? Well, you know what? There's no Emerson and there's no I, so it doesn't really matter. This is not a cause and effect thing. You can say it's very random. And there's nothing to get because everything is already is. The apparent communication is just illuminating that nothing needs to happen because everything is already as is, as it is.
I'm sure it would make a difference. Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Maybe if you take care of my puppy, you know what I'm saying? That would be kind of cool.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. Yeah.
Petra.
Yeah. Oh.
Then that would be like a cult now, right? I have a compound or an ashram and people.
Oh, the holy dog.
The holy dog, yeah. I should make. You know what? I've been wanting to make an Instagram. I'll make it a Shri Ella Bella non-duality.
Oh, the empty
Did you see
dog.
Tony, Petra?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just came back from Tony yesterday in the evening. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
I tell you later in the breakup room.
Okay. All right.
Just this. It was so funny to see all these people I know from Zoom, and it's like you know them, but you don't know them. And
Yeah.
I was really puzzled the first night. Yeah, but it was something. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. We missed you.
Oh.
Yeah. William was there. Joey. And yeah.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we talk later.
Joey made it. Oh, wow. That's awesome. Hi, Emerson. Will you release the 5 days video? No. I might release some of the introduction. Um, Apparently, it was super hardcore, especially in the second and third day, that actually was advised not to release it. But yeah, is FOMO just in the story? Yes. The fear of missing out is just another neurosis, right? Because nothing is really missed. Nothing is really, nothing is, it's already this. It's always this, right? So there's nothing that passed, nothing that you missed, nothing that was lost, nothing that was missing. And the FOMO usually comes from that. What did I miss? Nothing. Because it's always this. So trying to look at an apparent imaginary past event that perhaps was great or whatever, that didn't happen already. It's already done. But FOMO might happen, appearance might happen. But apparently here there's no more FOMO. Except when there's cinnamon rolls. If I miss a cinnamon, if someone had cinnamon rolls, I'm like, did you all finish it? And that's just a story. Carol goes, not landing, nowhere to go, nothing to do, just drawing out the limestone bed creek and ever falling apart tree. Love all. Oh, thanks, Carol, and thank you so much for the beautiful poetry and the artwork that you're sending me. Hi, Kuka. Hello.
Hi,
How are you? You're in Spain, right?
sorry.
Are you in Spain now, or whereabouts are
Yeah,
you?
I moved to a Mediterranean island.
Oh, wow. I
I'm
love the
all
post.
salty.
Nice.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm
Oh,
good.
I
It's so good
missed
to
you.
see you.
You too.
Yeah.
Well, I was trying to find something, to talk about this with you a little bit. But actually, a question arose. Maybe not a question. I started to speak about this.
Yes, I saw
Yeah,
your I like your Instagram. Yeah.
yeah, step
Beautiful.
by step. I'm still like, I don't know, because the feeling of there is nothing to talk about, and
Yeah.
I'm it's like I don't know if I'm ready, so to speak. I know it just happens. I always say I'm not ready, but then I write a lot and I say a lot
Yeah.
when I something.
It's automatic. It's automatically happening, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it hilarious?
yeah,
It's just
so
automaticness.
wonderful. And I didn't start to do meetings or whatever, but I start to try to do like Instagram lives.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not that easy because the public doesn't know what it's coming to. But then sometimes, I start to talk about it because on Instagram you have to engage and talk more. There's
Yeah.
not much of this interaction like in Zooms. And but then I'm like, I'm not saying really anything important and not interesting.
No.
And it's so hard to do the introductions because it's like doesn't make any sense. And
It doesn't.
yes. And I see people on the Instagram live come like entering and then going out like I just assume they're like what the hell is
Yeah.
what she's talking about. But yeah, there was also a feeling of feeling like and maybe there was kind of a solidity there still, but inauthentic or a fraud, or maybe I don't know what
There's this openness and vulnerability to this. All of this flowing of
it's so
sensations of this and that or whatever. It's the same as the feeling of elation and excitedness. It's just a passing thing. It's just something that is an illusion as well. So what's really clear when there's clarity, well, there's clarity already, that it's seen that, you know what, everything is allowed.
yeah,
Even
exactly.
that. Everything is allowed. And no one, there's no authority to this.
Mm,
And comparison again, right? There's this seeming
yeah,
comparison,
yeah,
especially with newer kind of like, people that have apparently, no one falls away, but apparently fallen, their belief system.
Yeah.
There's this rawness, right? There's this rawness because it doesn't land anymore. It doesn't have a belief system anymore. So all of this appearances of why do I feel this way, all this kind of stuff, or am I it's just the naturalness of the flow. It's just the illusion. It's not about getting rid of that. It's just a happening. There's nothing wrong or right about that, but it's just a seeming flowing of nothing at all. It's really nothing, is what I'm trying to say. It's really nothing.
Okay.
There's I know I've seen your post and there's clarity there, right? So there's this, there's this flowing seemingly of this sharing. And
Yeah.
but I actually recently, it's kind of funny. I had someone invited me to do a talk with a group of scientists about this. I have no idea what science, all that kind of stuff. So the beginning was kind of like a little bit like I really don't know what you're talking about. They're giving me all of these theories and everything, and they don't understand that I don't know. I should have brought Tej with me to this meeting, but it was like with 10 people. So there was this awkwardness in the beginning, and even awkwardness appears. But towards the end, we were laughing so hard because everything that they come up with, they're just kind of like, one person was kind of like saying, what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you? I'm like, nothing at all. Nothing at
Yeah.
all. And the person that invited me was kind of like, oh, why did they invite him in his talks? But at the end of it, there was this openness, seemingly. There was this openness. There might be some rocky road in the beginning because they're coming from a scientific point of view of
course.
how do you know that? And when I say something like, well, there's no one here to know that, there's no one there as well, it doesn't compute, right? It seems like an
Yeah.
obstacle.
Yeah.
But what is appearing is just this. I like that Ileana said there's this vulnerability, there's this openness.
Yeah.
And
It's very
whatever
fun.
appears, appears.
Yeah, and it's so organic, but then to write about it, and it can look clumsy sometimes, but now it's like, but also it's like flowing, and it's
Yeah.
not clumsy or not clumsy and not clumsy. It's just and there's so many ways to talk about it. You don't need to be like always the same.
No.
So it's very raw. It's very vulnerable, and you.
It is. It is. It is
Yeah.
very raw because there's nothing that is held onto. It's
Yeah.
very vulnerable because it's this openness. But just a second. Hold on.
Yeah.
My doggy's crying. Just a second, okay?
Yeah.
I'll be right back. Just
I
hold.
want to see him. Oh. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh, she look at the baby.
Oh. She's so lovely.
Ciao, Bella.
I said the clearest speaker of non-duality is this dog.
Wow.
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 Literally, wow.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
That's the kind of dog I had when I was little.
Oh,
My first
so
dog. Yeah.
they're so cute
Oh.
and
Look,
rambunctious. I had a one-on-one yesterday, and I had he picked the toilet paper and ripped it apart. So my whole room was covered with toilet paper. It's just what is. It was very cute. But yeah, Kuka, you know what I'm saying? This apparent sharing is there's no one choosing to do it or not do it. It's just happening. And
Yeah,
when there's this passion that's appearing, there's just this it's just this flow, right? There's just this happening. It's like sometimes I'm kind of like
when I'm
it's
sick.
sorry, go
No,
ahead.
Yeah, sorry. When I was sick the other day, and I had a session booked, and also wanting to share some posts, and I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not feeling it. But then all of a sudden I was doing. I was talking, I'm like, I was feeling such a zombie, like so sick, but like I forgot about it, you know, while I was talking, and it's just this aliveness and
Yes, that's what is. That's what
mm,
is. Apparently, you know what? When I talk about it, there's this aliveness that I actually prefer longer sessions. Like I prefer the 1 day with like three
yeah.
sessions compared to
Oh,
one because there's just this amazing flow of that. And apparently, I get
mm,
so energized that I run around. That after it, I play with my dog, and it's just this aliveness. This aliveness.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. It's the openness. I made another video, a video the other day, and I say something like, in this openness, anything can arise. Kind of,
Yes.
it's a safe space to even bad things arising, you know, because
Exactly. Apparent
unconditional,
bad things. Yeah.
apparent bad things,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, and yeah. So anyway,
Beautiful. I can't wait to see some of your videos, Kuka. I love your Instagram post, but send it to
uh,
me. Yeah.
yeah, we'll talk a bit.
We'll
We will
talk of
talk.
it. Thank you. It's so nice to see you.
Mwah. You
Mwah.
too.
Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you. Excuse the squeaky toy. That's my puppy playing.
Emerson,
Hi.
hi. You were talking about the scientist,
Yes.
but you know they I guess the way it works, I mean, for them, they always put doubt, you know?
Yeah, yeah. It was a really beautiful conversation at the end, but the first 15 minutes was they have never really listened to non-duality before, and I
Mm.
have a couple of people that listens to my talks, and they love it apparently, so they wanted to
Mm.
present me to this group of scientists, and I was the speaker, so they were asking me a whole bunch of questions about quantum stuff, and of course I have no clue of what I'm talking about. And so the first 15 minutes, and one of the guy goes, "Hey Emerson, can you make an introduction?" Because I just got attacked with a whole bunch of questions, right? So the introduction happened, and they were like, "Oh wow." Someone said that there was some resonating here. Not the exact word. It goes, "There's some clarity in what you're saying, and I can't seem
Mm.
to understand it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, but it's not a belief system that what you're talking about." So apparently some
Mm.
of these apparent people were they invited me again for a second and third thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I hope we can get to release it. That'll be actually it's a really amazing conversation. And maybe
Mm.
I don't know if Tej is here, but maybe I'll bring Tej along with me. So yeah. or
Yeah, I'm
or
here, Emerson. Yeah, I'd be glad
or
to
Steve
actually
or Steve.
engage with them.
Yeah. It was really fun at the end because it was supposed to be it lasted 2.5 hours.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
so it was just this going back and forth, and someone will
Mm.
say, well, what you're really saying is like, when they were caught up, with about the time. So I said, well, if there's no time, how could this be possibly happening? So they were trying to come up, with some ideas, and I said, but that includes time. They're like, oh yeah. So they were getting stumped at the end. In the beginning, I was really stumped, talking to Cook, I was like, oh, I'm not worth this. I'm like, why did I, all that kind of stuff came up, you know what I'm saying? For no one though. There's just this feeling. I'm like, oh man, why did I agree to this kind of thing? And
Oh,
that's also allowed, right? There's
yeah.
allowed, but there's this openness here, and there was excitement. But imagine walking into, or in a Zoom, with about 20 people, kind of like shooting questions at you without an introduction. Just gonna like, what is this
Oh,
non-duality? All of this stuff. You said that there's no time. How did you prove that? All of this stuff. That there's no studies have you read? Which papers have you read? So they were looking right away for what do you
a
call it?
proof. A
Not
proof.
approval, but
No?
it's credentials. What are your
Mm.
credentials? How did you get
Mhm.
here?
Yeah. Yeah. That must have been so interesting.
Oh, it
I hope it
was.
comes out. I really hope
It's
it comes out.
they recorded it. I was a guest, right? So they recorded it, and
Okay.
they said they'll
Oh,
send it to some other, parent association or whatever. But
okay.
I'll ask if I can have a copy of it because it was a very interesting talk. It was a
Yeah.
very interesting
Wow.
talk. It was really
Wow.
enjoyable at the end because there was just this clarity,
Hmm.
and I just didn't know what I was getting into. But the moment that I did the introduction about, I just kind of like because they were confused about time, so I just went with the time is an illusion, kind of like and they just
Hmm.
flowed with that, and
Wow.
they were left a little bit puzzled and bewildered. Some of them, they're like, "What are you talking about?"
Hmm.
But it was fun. It was fun.
Oh,
It was
wow.
fun. Yeah, maybe I should invite them to these talks one day to spice things up. But I'll need Tej. I
Oh,
was thinking of
yeah.
you, Tej. I'm like, I wish Tej was here.
Yeah, actually, it
Thanks
would
for
be very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing that,
Oh,
Emerson.
thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So
It was
nice.
fun.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, actually, the scientists, Emerson, just sharing. I mean, in a way, they try to make it too complex.
That's what it was. That's what it was. They're like,
Yeah.
which studies have you read?
Yeah.
Which papers? Any papers that you can cite to be able to prove what you're
Exactly.
talking about, all that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Is like, so it was really awkward in the beginning because I'm like, what am I getting into, kind of thing, right? Because they were talking about the scientific, for what I was talking about. Of course, you know what I said. Well, there's no one here. They're like, well, how do you know that? I said, well, knowing is just, it's. I'll try to get a copy. I'm not sure if I can, but it should be fun. And I'll ask if you can come next time, Tej. They invited me again for a second and third round.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to. I mean, and in case you get hold of the video, share it with us.
Yes,
I'd
I
be
will. Yeah.
interested to see what questions they had.
Yeah. Very scientific. Really boring in the beginning, but it gets sparked up because there's laughter that happens a lot, right? Because
Yeah.
there's this getting stumped with something, right? They're like, of course, I kept on saying that there's no one that knows anything here. And they're like, how is that possible? And all that kind of stuff. Well, if there's no time, we already arrived at there's no time. So how can be knowing happening if there's no time?
And that's a very critical piece, the thing about time.
Yes.
And time is not independent,
Yeah.
as you know, space-time are related, that's Einstein's famous
Yes.
and the space-time is changing. So it's according to, they don't know if it's expanding or will retract back. But at
Yes.
one point, space-time was not there because there was a singularity.
Yes.
And that singularity, because time was not there, it is present now.
Yes. See, I should have had you there. But nevertheless, it was really fun. And when there's this passion in talking about this, it's kind of like it reminded me of when Jim agreed with that Sam Harris kind of like interview that it was very awkward.
Yeah.
He did mention to me that it was like, oh man, it was like 45 minutes into it. He was like wanting it to end already, right? Because it's like speaking a different language. So in the beginning, it was like, when I was talking to the scientist, it was a different language, obviously. They didn't even know about spirituality, which made a little bit more kind of like I think initially they thought I was cuckoo or something. But apparently at the end of it, there was just this, they're curious now. There's curiosity
Yeah.
now, seemingly
Yeah.
to appear about this non-duality. And there's just this openness, right? There's just this openness. But yeah, it was kind of like what Kuko was saying. It was very awkward. It's kind of like, oh, what am I doing here?
Well, it can be because the message is threatening. I mean, there's no doubt
yeah.
about it. Yeah.
Totally threatening.
Emerson, please do an intensive day soon.
I am actually. I forgot to tell you. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday, I'm doing a 1 day.
Yeah.
A 1 day, and then a lot of people are asking me to do a 3 or 4 days, so I'll probably do it the next week. I do enjoy. You know what? There's this enjoyment in doing the long sessions, because it just becomes really unhinged, if you know what I mean. It just gets unhinged, and it's like when I DJ. I like playing the long sets because people just let loose completely. It's the same thing as talking. Um, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it's just so much fun with you, and it, yeah,
Yeah.
so much laughter, and it's so light. Mhm. Yeah,
Oh,
thank you.
I thoroughly enjoy it as well. There's just a lot of enjoyment here. Linus goes, there is the concept of time, but not time itself, hence the apparent confusion. Yes. Thank you, Linus. Uh-oh. Is there eternity? Eternity is just a word. The moment that you think of what eternity is, it's just another label. So what's being spoken about here is like infiniteness, eternity. There's no end, there's no beginning. Um, but eternity is the way that it's imagined. The moment that you think of it is another label of something that cannot really be captured, that cannot be caught. It cannot be labeled. Um, so it's like eternity. This is like eternity. There's no beginning, there's no end. And this is infiniteness. Just a second, my battery's about to die. There can only be eternity. Yeah, there can only be singularity, eternity, oneness, wholeness, infinity. Any of these words, right, that is being expressed as this. It doesn't have an ending. It doesn't have a beginning. It can only be this. And there's nothing outside of this. Oh, Kathy. I can never see Kathy's hand up. Sorry, Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hi. The puppy's so cute.
Oh, the puppy ate all my wires, and
Oh,
even though I
geez.
bundled it, right? So I didn't. So earlier I was like trying to do all the, but it's so cute. All right,
Is it Ella or Bella?
Ella Bella. It's got
Ella
a second
Bella. Oh,
name, yeah.
so cute, Ella Bella. So cute. Do you use the phrase real and unreal?
I do, yeah, I do.
Oh, I wasn't sure if you, I know I
Yeah.
hear it, but it was funny because after the 5 days, it just all of a sudden it dawned on me that the apparent reality is the unreal.
Yes.
All this time, I've been, this reality is. It was just so funny. I said, "Oh, geez, finally, wow."
Yes. The unreal
Anyway,
reality that feels real.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. What
It's
a day! What a wake up call.
yes.
Yeah.
That's what a 5-day can do to you.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah. The apparent, or it's always apparent. Yeah. I'll tell you, one time I was listening to Tony. He was doing like a free Zoom or something. I don't know. And I was like, you must be the guru of non-duality. I think he was a little bit, I don't know. He just turned, looked at his Claire, and he just shook his head like,
Yeah. I can see him doing that.
Takes all kinds of winners to come in here for my free Zoom.
Totally, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, it's good seeing you.
Good seeing you
This
too.
way, virtual, whatever way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good seeing you.
Love you. Thank you. So if you
Love
guys
you
want to
too.
join,
Thank you.
so I'll have the Friday. I'm even thinking of doing kind of like 2 sessions on Friday because it's always really short. This one, but I would like to go further. But since my doggy ate my wires, my battery is about to die, so I have to switch. If I take this mic off, to the power. So thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks so
Oh
much,
my goodness, did you
Emerson.
hear that? She's
Thank
dreaming.
you.
Ah,
I'll bring her up.
Emerson. It was
It's all
so
a
good to
dream.
hear you.
So good. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
Emerson.
I'm going to open up the breakout
Emerson.
room. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank
Emerson.
you.
Thank you.
Take care, everybody.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
everyone.
Emerson.
Yeah, good. Just go to my, someone asks, just go to my website. There's a sign up thing there if you guys want to join it. It's free or by donation. So yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
I'll open the breakout room. Sorry. And I'll bring out my dog.
That's the attraction now.
That's the attraction. It's like,
Yeah.
Well, in the recording.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely,
Wow.
lovely. Bye, Bella. Bye, Ella.
Oh, I'm still recording. Sorry.